Well, Arsenal is in for Leroy Sane. That is it. And Arsenal is interested in signing Leroy Sane. And welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And it's a Monday, and it's the 17th of March in here. And we are into the international break. No league football, and teams are really into, I think, the World Cup qualifiers. And you know what it means for clubs. You are really going to have your hands crossed, because you wouldn't like to see to it that your club goes ahead, to see to it that they obviously continue to have more injuries into this international break. Not so Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, United fans that are really watching this channel, I think your number one target is to see to it that your favorites players don't really get injured. Then yesterday Liverpool went ahead, obviously beat the side of Newcastle. Newcastle beat the side of Liverpool by 2-1 to win the Carabao Cup in 70 years. 70 years back, they hadn't gone ahead, obviously, win a trophy, and their long trophy drought went ahead to come to an end, courtesy of Danny Ban and a player known as Alexander Isak that is onto the transfer list of every big team that is really in search of a center forward. So those are the topics you're obviously going to be discussing in here for you, and I'd like to congratulate to you all the people responsible for us hitting 25,000 subscribers. And now let's obviously head to the journey of 26,000, and we are now left with 70 subscribers to hit 25,100. So please do the needful and really subscribe. Now let's get into the story in here of a guy known as Leroy Sane, and who is reporting this story. It's coming in through from a credible journalist, coming in through from the Build, and that is Christian Falk. You know him very well, tier 1 journalist, coming in through from the side of Germany. He has said Arsenal is interested in a transfer of Leroy Sane. Sane is a free agent in the summer. No negotiations with Bayern Munich about a new contract yet. Mikel Arteta worked with Leroy Sane at Man City. Now, if you know how Arsenal is really trying to really maximize its forward options and midfield, you will understand why they are really in for a player like Leroy Sane as a free agent, because Arteta is a huge admirer for the player. It's not only now, but for all the years he left Man City and he was not really settled into that team of Bayern Munich very well. Arsenal were obviously trying to bring this player back, but this time around he's 29 years of age, and he's one of those who have what we call the winning mentality. If you talk about players that have gone ahead to win trophies, this guy ticks all the boxes. He has won the Premier League, I think he has won the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, he has won what we call the Bundesliga, and he played into was it a Champions League semi-final, Champions League final, and is into the team of Bayern Munich, whose mentality is all about winning. And I know that Arsenal pointing at him are really very, very, very observant, and they know to it that he's a very good player, and he was in the Premier League and really looked very, 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 very good. So when you look at Leroy Sane and Arsenal, you understand that Arsenal wanting players like Alexander Isak, or Benjamin Sesko, or Victor Osimhen, adding on Bruno Guimaraes and Zubimendi, in those three players that they want to sign, I tell you, they might not be left with any money, because if they are to go for Bruno Guimaraes, I think he'll go for like 60 to 70 million pounds, right? Then Zubimendi, 50 million pounds, that's 120. If you have to talk about Benjamin Sesko, you obviously understand that it will be between 70 million pounds, meaning that those are 200 million pounds for Arsenal to spend. And if they are to opt for Isak, not Sesko, it will go to 250 million pounds. You understand? So that means they won't be left with any money to go ahead and obviously sign in a player for cash. and yet they would want to get in two forwards to obviously reinforce that forward line of Arsenal, because you all know to it that if it wasn't for the injuries, or if Arsenal had gone ahead to bring in two forwards in the January transfer window, maybe Arsenal would have gone ahead to obviously give Liverpool a chase for the trophy, because Liverpool yesterday even lost to Newcastle, meaning that they are losing more games. But are we 100% sure that Arsenal won't lose more? That is the big question that deserves answers in here for you. So, the side of Arsenal knows it well that if there is a free agent in Leroy Sane who can obviously come and boost their attacking line, that will be something better for the club of Arsenal. And I also really give them a go ahead to really get in this player, because for Saka, they need a player like Leroy Sane to obviously go ahead and really fight for that position. Look at a team known as Aston Villa. They went in for 29-year-old Marcus Asensio, and look at how he has gone ahead obviously overturn their season in the Champions League and the Premier League, scoring for fun, and he's willing to obviously take their club to the next level. So it 100% shows you that players like him, if they are variable, they are really a very good pick for the club of Arsenal. If you remember, the man responsible for the cross that resulted into Aguilero's other cross to find Joshua Kimmich to obviously get that one goal that knocked out Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the Champions League last year. It was Leroy Sane. He initiated that run towards the byline, used his weak foot of the right foot, and went in for a back post cross that found the unmarked Aguilero, and Aguilero took his time, and he really watched or really sensed that Kimmich was going to run into that area, and Kimmich read that cross like a book and went ahead, obviously head it into the back of the net, and David Raya couldn't obviously come to the saving of the club of Arsenal. So that's how Arsenal have always gone ahead to do its work most of the times, and experience has been one of the shortcomings that have failed Arsenal to really hit the milestone they are supposed to obviously hit in as a team. So that's what exactly we're talking about, and Leroy Sane is really that player that I think if you get him on a free, it will be something good. But the big question is how much will he call in for in salary, But even if he calls in for £250,000, £300,000, you've got him in on a free. He's a free agent. And remember, Arsenal get in Willian on a free from Chelsea, and they offered him a contract of £300,000 a week. So I think that's not bad for a free agent. Then this season in the Bundesliga, 22 matches, 7 goals and 4 assists. And UEFA Champions League, 11 games, 1 goal and 0 assists. So, DFB Pokal Cup, 2 matches, 1 goal and 1 assist. So, that is Leroy Sane for you. Turned 29 on the 11th of January this year, meaning that he'll be turning 30 next year. And I think 30 has now come an age of not really failing to offer a player a contract of 3 or 4 years, because we've seen players hitting 30 years and they've gone ahead obviously play football at a high level until 35, 36 years of age. And when you look at his injury record, he's not an injury prone player, and he's a Premier League proven player. He won't be a novice to the Premier League. He'll be like, this is what I used to do, and I think Mikel Arteta would like to have better quality of his bench, and I think that's what he should obviously be working on next season, and that should be worked on in the summer transfer window. And there are no talks for a new contract in between Bayern Munich and the player, and that looks like Bayern has moved on from this player, because if they wanted to offer him a new contract, they would have gone ahead to obviously act now, because you saw how they went ahead and obviously stopped Alphonso Davies from joining the club of Real Madrid. That means they wanted him. You show Joshua Kimmich when Arsenal and PSG had obviously put an offer on his table. Guess what the bosses at Bayern did? They obviously offered him a contract that he wanted. And for Leroy Sane, they're like, we are obviously looking at Florian Wirtz from Bayern Leverkusen, and we also have a player in the names of this guy that was at Crystal Palace. What's his name? The Crystal Palace guy. Olise. So we don't really see a lot of future into what you're obviously going to offer. They're like, you can obviously leave on a free. So Arsenal are there. Liverpool, I think, are interested. Man United and very many others will obviously have to fight to see who obviously wins the signature. But I think with Mikel Arteta and Andrea Batha into this, they'll obviously win this race of Leroy Sane. So that's all about Leroy Sane, and Arsenal are interested in Leroy Sane. Tier 1 journalist from Germany reporting, and there is no way you don't say it's really a deal that Arsenal is really looking at. Then Eddie Howe has come up and obviously said the following after that 70-year trophy drought was ended yesterday at the Wembley. He said, emotional, very emotional. It's very unlike me. We knew what was at stake and just wanted to do everyone proud. We are desperate to try and win the trophy after so many years of hurt. It had a different feel. He added and said again that, oh, really? How come I hadn't obviously gone ahead, obviously bring all the chart of this gentleman? Right. So he added and said, we have won the game and everything will be reviewed positively, but we prepared well and I was very confident the players would perform. On his reaction on Federico Chicha's late goal, that was tough. Loads of different things going through my head. Obviously, for that Federico Chicha's goal, you obviously need to eat that Liverpool had 6 minutes of madness in Istanbul when they won the Champions League in 2005, and you will obviously remember that Liverpool has always gone ahead, obviously score goals in the dying minutes, and when they're winning against Bournemouth, it was Darwin Núñez going ahead to obviously try to put in a shift, but all in all, it never went on well as planned. And he said, we always make it difficult for ourselves. It was never going to be 2-0. When the goal went in, I thought it was a handball. I couldn't understand how it was given. So Eddie Howe is really giving us what he thought about that game of Liverpool, but it is really very exciting for them to win. Remember, in the year of 2023, Erik ten Hag beat Newcastle by 2-0, and they really looked good. But Rashford and Casemiro were on target and found themselves winning that trophy that was the Carabao Cup. And this time round, he reaches the final and he's like, we have to win this. And all in all, it worked in their favor. That is the side of Newcastle. So a lot is happening in that side. I saw Alan Shearer celebrating high, and it's really very good for a team like Newcastle to win. And I think their new Saudi Arabia owners and the people they've gone ahead to recruit are really excited to see to it that all goes on well as planned, because Newcastle has always vied to win these trophies, and here they come to obviously solve this equation, and they've gone ahead to find themselves in a position of really winning this. So guys, your thoughts on Leroy Sane to Arsenal transfer interest confirmed are welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about it? And again, what do you make about the gaffer of Newcastle who lifted the Carabao Cup, Newcastle's first trophy in the past 70 years? You can know what it takes for a club like that to really win a trophy like that. An investment was huge. When you look at Bruno Guimaraes, Alexandra Isak, Butman, Fabian Schär, Joe Wellington, talk of the likes of Anthony Gordoni, the Joe Wellingtons of this world, the captain Kylian Trippier, and so many more. It was really a huge investment. And for Bruno Guimaraes, he's obviously one of those that went ahead, obviously say lots of things, and I'm gonna be reporting what he said in the next video that I'm gonna be recording in 1 or 2 hours from now. I'm out. Bye bye, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 26,000 subscribers, and I know you guys are really in love with this, and you won't really be rigid onto this.